I've got the splash page on this video as being bearish today, and the reason for that is that if we look at this as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here, now we have 5 waves here. That means that any move below this current low here, then that's going to be bearish at that point. That's pretty clear to me, so that gives us a bit of gravity on the situation. And if I compare this to the counts for the US market, then we'd be looking at it like this. So bear with me a second. So we would be looking at this as wave 1 here, and I'll just copy that from there as wave 2. This is too short to be wave 3, so this would be wave 1 at this point, and then we're going to be looking for wave 2 here. So currently we can put this ABC pattern just here for this on that low, and if that's breached, then we're going to be opening up like this here. Now we're at 7,000 and it's a big number, and you know it's held here for before. It's also the 50-60% retracement level area. So it'll be a battle that if this is going to be, let's just put this up here. Let's just say that this is going to be the wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 1 here, wave 2. So it's the third of the third here. So that should come down. There'll be a battle between all that support at the 7,000 and the 50-60% retracement level. So it'll either be a hot knife through butter, or it's going to be there a little bit longer than we expect. So it's got that, this number's got, and this zone has got a bit of a pull on the minds of men at this point in time. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, anything below this low here. So I'm just going to go into the 100 ticks and cut to the chase on this. So as it stands, as a recap, we've got the A wave, the B wave and the C wave on this low for wave 2. Any further lows at this point, then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and we're going to go have a look at that. So anything below here will be a short trade, and then that will open up the can of worms for a low below here. So short traders, you want to be in this for the long haul. So 65 here, this is going to be a medium level at this point. So you need to give this some thought, and this will also going to inflict a lot of damage on banks and resources as well. Now Australia is in a better situation than the rest of the world, but we do have high housing prices and so on. We've lifted our rates probably some of the less. Now the ECB on Wednesday will probably lift theirs anywhere between 25 and 50, and that's going to put a little bit of a shock into the system. And then the Feds will be there later next week with their rate rise as well. That will depend on the figures coming out today, the CPI figures and the PPI figures and employment figures coming out. So Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday are big on that. So we expect that to be a little bit spiky in the market. Let's just cut straight through to the because we did look at this actually, I think on the weekly chart here. Let's just go back and have a quick look at that. I want to get through the video a bit quicker to get it out on time today if I can. So this is a real possibility, and we looked at this yesterday. So looking at a bigger picture coming down, well, it could come down into this space, the world looking for some type of landing, be it soft or be it hard. I don't know what the difference is, but yeah, all I can say from this low to this high up here, this is where we were looking for it to find support, just below here. But we've already got 3 waves here, so technically at this point anything below this level here, and then it just opens up a can of worms. Now we could end up in some other big triangle pattern here or something or rather, you know what I mean, but as far as the crow flies, then anything below here is bearish at this point. So that's pretty clear to me. So we'll just go straight into 100 ticks, and we're just going to look at this little bit in through here, so you can agree or disagree with what we're looking at here. And I'll just need to bring some more data in. Anyway, so this is the top up here. We're looking down as wave 1 or 2, or wave B, and down for wave C here. But what I want to point out here now is that we've got a clear 1, 2 and 3 down here. This got a bit complicated here, but I could see it on the US markets as the A, the B and the C here. Nice little C wave up here, by the way, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the wave 4. Nice strong wave 3 here. And then here it's pretty clear that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So technically speaking, that taking this high here, you can just refine that on your machine. So this will be the 50-60% retracement level area here. Now that said, this is a little bit high compared to this consolidation. So what I always look for is I look for the consolidation here, which starts at this low here, right? Because that's important. So all of this here, you can take a balanced sort of view on this, but you'd kind of come back to this number here. So this number is more important than this space up here for that. So can we go that high? Don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out and what pattern we get. I can tell you there's 5 waves in here, there's 5 waves here. This is some sort of ABC pattern here. In the US, we've been looking for, or you can have a look at the US video. So I'm just trying to think to myself what the best way to handle this. It looks like if I went really minimalist here, then that would be the absolute minimum at that point, and that would be the top in play at that point. I don't think that's going to be the case. We want to be going up a little bit further. It's basically starting to stick to this number with all the zeros on it, and we know that the 7-1 is important. So it's going to try to get up there in some particular way. I could also put wave B here and look at this as 1, 2, 3 here, and 4 and 5, and come up a little bit higher here. All I can say at this point in time is that we need to be looking at the short side. We can use this low, but now we can use this low. So we can short it below here, nice and cleanly and so on, but we want to try to be, what did Gecko say? Greed is good. We want to be getting a better price up here. So yeah, what's another way to look at this? I always like to get the last leg here and look for the 50-60. Look at all of these levels here, the 23, the 32, the 50 and the 61.8. I think this low here is going to be a bit of a calling sign. But the thing is that the US markets may need to rally as well. So we're not going to get this short. We probably won't get this short today, you know. And it's got to be up here somewhere. It's got to be, we're searching for it up there, but how to go about this, you know, and do we look for the A, do we put the A wave over here and so on. We're kind of out of sync a little bit with the other guys. It'll be something like this. I mean, 1 is the strongest number, so it's going to be something like that. I'm just not quite sure here. I mean, if you wanted to go long today on this, then you still need a classic trading levels pattern here to do that. You know, you need that first high above the level. You need some type of little correction here and so on. So you know, you can, day traders can go long here. I'm not saying that, but this low now just becomes really significant. You know, I mean, we could push up here and go into a bull market. But it's a bit hard to see that when the banks are sort of dropping and so on, you know. And we know that the resources are weaker with that. This is the This is the bank. This is Bank of America here. Well, actually, I was just looking at. I'll just go a different way here. I'll just look at. This is the S&P Regional Banking ETF here. Now, there's not a lot of history on it. It just goes back to the 2007 area, and I can count here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this, and then we've got that correction here, and then we've got a very nice, clean, clear 5-wave structure up here. So this here, we can look at this. Obviously, this will need to be looked at in a bigger picture here. I'll just put it as this to start with, as 1 and 2 here. So even at minimum, we still need to finish 3, 4, and 5 here, and this is the same as Bank of America here, but slightly different with 1 and 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this wave 4 rally here, it would be wave 2 on the S&P, and then 3, 4, 5. So we still need to come down further, but this is not the end of it here. This can all just be. This could also just. I can expand it out much bigger than this. So, but I don't want to do that just yet on that. But when you think about it, this is the actual top of the market here, right? This is a weekly chart. This is the top of the market. So in this case, when you think about it, if this is going to be 5 waves down from the top here, from the actual top of the market, then we're going to get, after this, we'll get a rally, and then we'll get another 5 down. If we get 5 waves down here. It might be just an A and some sort of B wave to here and a C wave down to here, but yeah. So anyway, that's where that is at the moment. So let's just see. Anyway, let's see what we get here. Let's see if we can figure this out being corrective. So all I'm pointing out is that for us traders, we've got a possibility of a good long-term short position to come into play. Okay, so I'm going to move on from this, and this is our bank here. So if I look at the S&P, so to speak, in terms of what we've just been looking at with the markets, then we would also need to look at this as much the same as well, as some sort of, it could be slightly different as 1 and 2 in here. And we'll need to drop this down further because the third wave will need to be longer. So we're going to put another short trade under the 95 here. So there'll be some sort of rally, and if there is a rally, then we'll look at that tomorrow. So still going to be we're short on the banks. There's no problems about being short on the banks. If you want to make money, then short banks. Okay. When it comes to the resources, first of all, this is iron ore out of China, and what we've been looking for with this is from this wave 4 is 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and then looking up for wave 5 here to get a top in, because once this top comes in, then you're going to see well, you're going to see red for quite some time, really, in the other markets. So this, I'm not really sure about this little count. I don't know if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and we're going up for wave 3, and then we'll have 4 and 5. This is all playing out across this medium level here, the 900. So we'll just put that in there so we can come to grips with that. So basically it's just doing its first high above the level there. So probably around 910 would be something quite nice at that point. And then that's going to be wave 5 of 1 at minimum. It could be a big C wave as well, actually, in the bigger picture, which we should go in and just have a quick look at that. But anyway, before we do that, this, as you may know, we've been looking at 5 waves to the upside for this. So this is why, you know, being short or looking to short RIO and FMG would be good bets at this point. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're very close to the end of it at that point. Let me just go in and change this. So this is the weekly chart here, and these are the 5 waves I've been looking for to move up here. So the thing here is that I've been looking at it being positive, thinking that China will open up and everything will be rosy, and possibly it will, possibly it won't. We may go to war, all sorts of things may happen. Yeah, the thing here is that this can also be viewed like this. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So we don't have wave 1, we have wave C here. And in that case, we would end up with a move coming down from that 9, 10 area there as 5 waves coming down here. Making this a larger wave A here. Let me just put this into, and then wave B here, and then wave C. So that's food for thought, isn't it, you know? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I don't know. It's not helpful trying to decipher this or this. If this is probably the answer here. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave, I'll have to lift that up 1 degree of structure, but from minor to intermediate. But as 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5. So if we get 5 waves here, then we have a correction over here, then we'll have another 5. So this is highly likely at this point. So that means that, you know, the stock market is being pulled, you know, our stocks that we look at have been pulled down by, this is US BHP by the by, and I've got the B wave up here and had it there for a while, but now that you've seen iron ore, it gives you a better picture of things. So this is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Easier to see it on the New York desks rather than the Australian one, but that is 5 waves there. And this is what's going on in the US typically as wave 1 and 2, and then the S&P 500, for example, we're looking down as 1 and 2, and we're also doing this on the Australian market, the ASX we just talked about. So this is the point to short this here, because if this is going to be an A and a B and a C wave here, then that's the short. And this will be down here. Okay, with me? Good. So this is the same as our local BHP as well. So that means that what we need to put here is we need to also look at this as being wave B here. Make that up there, and we'll put wave C here. And then we also need to look at this. So we can look at this here as wave 1, and we'll just copy this here for wave 2. We'll put the B wave there, but I just want to go. It's important that, you know, because of the current situation around the place, then the bearish mode is taken control of the situation. So we need to work out to go short, and we also need to, before we go short, we need to ask ourselves what is the long trade, you know. Now on the US BHP, this wave 1 here is lower than this one here. So that means that we may be lagging behind something. This might be a little wave 4 here, and we come down for a wave 1, and then we go back for a wave 2, and then we come down. So it could get a little bit messy around the 45. That's the number that we're working with here. But the point is that we've got one little short position in there. And yeah, we need to be short here now as well here. If you've got one short position in there, you could look to put another one just in there as well on that, and then we'll short there, because if this is going to go down as the third wave, you want to you know, we'll probably try to get in another position with this as well in due course. So that will be that. And this, it's not like copper's in a strong position at the moment, but we need to check the US dollar as well. So this is RIO here. So we talked about having a little short trade in there, and we're putting one here now as well. Now the same thing can occur here as well. So this B wave up here, I'm just going to move that into a stronger position at this point, and we'll also start to shape this world up here as well. Now it's a bit difficult to call this wave one down here, so I don't know how we'll do this. We'll probably need to do something like this on this. I'll check Veil and see what it's doing as well. And we'll put this here. This will be another smaller wave one. It's not going to hurt us to have a small position in there at this point in time. And FMG here, if you've got shares in this, you may want to look for a bit of a hedge at this moment. It's not like we've got 5 waves down here, so I'll just chill on this for the moment. So we don't need to short that one, but you can, if you're going to hedge, or you're concerned, then this is the time to do it. Okay, so yeah. The US dollar here. So as you may know, I've been trying to work out counting this to the upside here. Now I think that I think it's a little bit small for the rally that I've been looking for, but at the same time the Australian dollar has pulled back into its 50% retracement level area, so it's quite possible we can look at this as an A and a B and a C wave up here, and have a top in play there. It's possible. That would also be, at this point, would be a wave 2 at this point. I mean, I've had it as a B wave, but that's more inclined to be at that point. So that's possible at this point. It's also possible, this is starting to appear like 5 waves here, but I'm not quite sure. I'll just go into 20 ticks and just have a bit of a look at that. Yeah, that's looking like 5 waves to me. So that looks like 5 waves here. So we can go over to, we're on the daily chart, so I want to go to, I don't need 30,000 on that, so I'll just go to 2K here. I'm just looking at on some of the others. I'll come back to that one if need be. This is the 20K here. So we've basically just had a look at this, and it appears that we've got 5 waves here. So that means we can still end up having a B wave here and then going up, or we can come down at this point. So it's not quite there just yet with that. We'll just have a look at how this rallies here, but I'll just put this wave 2 in here. It means that we'd have a low in for the Australian dollar if this is correct here. So I can't quite confirm that just yet. I'm just going to walk through this. I've just started on 20 and come back. So this is not going to, I haven't cleaned any of this up, so I've just been yakking here before about this being a 4th wave here. So we can rule out that count. So that's good. That's one thing we can do. So we don't need to look at this as this particular count. So I'll use this space for something else. Those 5 waves there are still valid at this point. We can use it now as a wave 1 and 2 here. So I can use it like this as such. So we can put this here as an ABC. I still need to use those ones there, really, don't I? So I'll just move these out of the way because they're 1 degree too small for that. So we'll use this as a count to the downside. We'll see how that plays out. Then we'll go to the 5K tick here. I'm not sure what I've done on this one. What have I done here? We've used this as this one, so that's cool. I'm still going to, I should use it as, I'm just going to use it as this wave 1 here and this wave 2 here, because we can start to see that shape up a little bit now. So I won't know just yet. I won't have any answers, but what we can do, because we get 5 waves here, I think that's because that's 1 and 2, by the way, and then this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So all of that's from here to here is the 3rd wave, 4th and 5th. Now, is this finished off here? I'm not quite sure. Didn't really notice that too much, but that means that we can have a rally back at this point. Can come back to this space here, but through here is probably more likely. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. So we still got a lot of work to do here, because we don't know we don't know if this is going to be an A wave. I'll just use this chart here, a B wave and a C wave here. We're pretty much there, and this is the other count here, the B wave here. Then up from that point, or we just come down from that point. So we've got to get it into a corner, and it'll come out. That will be it. I mean, somebody else will probably know the answer before I do, but if it works itself into a corner here, we're going to get it up this way or down this way. That's when we'll know. I'll have a closer look at this and make sure I got that right, but at first glance that seems to be the go. So that means that the gold market here, like I mentioned, GDX hasn't moved this far up. It's only just about here, and this move here doesn't count as 5 waves here. So on GDX, in fact, this is actually the low here. So with GDX, we'd look at this as wave 4 and 5 here. But we haven't made a new low here for that, so I can't go that way with it. But on GDX, that would be corrective wave 4 and then wave 5. So I could look at it like that. But all I need to do here, as I mentioned before, I don't need that now, is that we just need to look for the first high above the level here. So I haven't had time to pull this across here, but this from this wave 4 here, it'd be 3, 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're very close to a top here. Now, it's not to say that it can't be wave 1 here. I understand that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to, like I said yesterday, we're going to wait for it to top and roll. And when it does that, we'll start from the top, and then we'll keep investigating it. We'll see where the US dollar is, and yada, yada, yada. And eventually it'll come to us, because it's either going to do that or this. That's what's going to happen. So we don't want to go long in any of this and get caught in this. It just doesn't make any sense. But so we're just going to be patient and wait, and it will come to us in due course. So not a problem there. Doesn't really help us with Newcrest mining. I think we just stay and look for the ABC pattern here. Like I said, we will go long here if we get a really nice classic trading levels pattern sitting on this level here. And what will probably happen, if it's going to be bullish, what will probably happen, which you'll find a little bit annoying, is that from this low here, it will be something like, it's either going to be an ABC to here and then drop, or it's going to give us some boost here, and we're going to go for a 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave. But don't worry too much, because we'll still need to come back again and then go up at that point, you know. So I'm not going to call the trade in. I'm going to wait. We want to wait to see how things are going to play out on all of this. So we'll keep that B wave there, but it can do something a little bit different than that. I missed the. I'll do the commodities in a minute. Didn't get them in order. So I rearranged this count in here, coming down here, because I just felt that it was possible that I didn't want to get people long without anything. So I think it's still possible to have one more move here. So I'm just going to wait for that. I don't have a clear impulse wave to the upside to go long. I know that I could put wave 2 over here. That's how I originally had it. And that sort of fits okay, but I kind of like what I've done in here. So I'm just going to stay with my decision until proven otherwise. So I'm not ready for a long trade here on all of this yet. And also too, if the S&P and the other markets are going to go down, then that kind of questions this move that's moved up here as 5 waves. I'll have to have another really look at that because we should be okay. I just don't want to end up putting wave 1 here and looking at a bigger bearish picture for this. So I'll just see there's a lot of work to do here yet. It's not over until the big lady sings. So nothing to do here. Now we're going to go and have a look at the commodities. Now the thing is, I just want to have a look at the. I thought I'd have a look at the yields there. That jump across. Oh. It's a bit weird, sorry, it's just every time I click on my save page it just came across as something else. So we want to go to copper stocks first on this. Just have a look at, this is a weekly, so we're going to go to daily here. So wave 4 held up really quite nice. So this is going to have a lot to do with the dollar. So it would be nice if that wave 4 holds there. Let me just have a look at the stocks, because the stocks will do, is that, oh no, that's Southern, what's the name? Okay, so that's holding up. This one here has come down to 38, so it's come down a bit too far for this. It's starting to give a little bit of a 5 wave move down. What about this one? This one's, okay, so we were looking at this stock here. It looks like it's 1, 2, 3 here, so we'll have to give it some more space. But it's for a C wave, it's rather sharp. So, but I'll just give it some time. We don't need to overreact on this just yet. But as you may know, we're looking at the possibility of being a B wave up here, as an A and a B and a C wave to come, and this will take this low out here, by the way. So we'll be will be much lower within all of that. These are just the major levels here, which I'm just going to plonk on here for that. I mean, it's quite deep for a wave. It's quite big for a wave 4, as well. It looks more bearish. I mean, and this is the US thing as well. The US, we've got this. Because sometimes stocks will follow the stock market rather than the commodity. I've seen that before with gold. So we just need to be careful about that too. I never really understood that. So, whoopsie-daisy. So we could look at this, if we were looking at it to the downside, we'd look at it as 1 and 2 here. And I'll just put these in over here for this. And then this one here would be down for 1 here, back for 2. 3, 4, 5 here, and we'll just put that down to another degree smaller here. So looking at 1 and 2 in here, so we'll need to do some work on that, of course. Why have I got 2 wave 4? Oh, that's the other wave 4, isn't it, for the other side? So I'll just plonk that over there for the time being. So this would be the bearish count. So I might just have a quick look in there. That's around the 40. Just give me 5 minutes on that. I'll just check on that. Around the 40. So maybe this is a job for you in this one. This is 5 waves here, right? That's 5 waves because I can see the 3rd wave here, and that would be part of that and that. So that's 5 waves. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we've got 5 waves. So we're going to get another, this is going to be some sort of wave 4 here. And then we're going to have wave 5 here. Then we're going to have an ABC pattern here. So it's at this point that we will recognize that anything below here will be the short trade at this low here. And I think that I best label this here. If I can label this, then I can, if I label this, then I can work out later if I'm wrong or right, or we can make adjustments and so on, because you might come back and say, Pete, well, I trade this and I had a closer look at that, and that's, you've actually screwed that up again there. So so we'll put that out there. But yeah, after that 5 waves there, anything below that and it's bearish, right? So that's what we'll sort of help focus on a bit. And this one here, we'll need to have a look at nickel, which is where are we here? I thought sorry. Let me have a look. Oh, here we go. So China's the strong one, but we're just going to, I mean, this can be an A and a B and a C wave up here, so we just got to watch that a little bit. IGO is something that we're focused on here. This is also weekly, so we want to put that onto daily here. Yeah, so I mean, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be the same as well, actually. So even though it's nickel, so this here will be 1, 2 in here. This will be 3, and there'll be 4, and there'll be 5 here. Then we'll go back, and then we'll come down again. So that 1 and 2 can stay there, and all of this can come down here further. So can you see that there? That little move will be wave 1 here and 2 here, and this will be 3. That's all the third wave there. So 4 and 5. So we'll need 2 days at least to finish off this down here, which will be 5 waves here for wave 1, and then you can look to short it under that, or you could even short the retest. It doesn't really matter at that point. Anything above that. We'll look for the ABC. We'll tune into that. We'll try to find that as a short trade. It's not there yet, but it's coming. So this will be a bigger pit. We can catch that third wave down there. That will keep the wolves from the door, so to speak. So that's nickel, and we need to have a look. I'm just not going to go to my other chart because it needs to wind up a little bit. So we need lithium stocks. So first of all, there was a bit of support in the US last night on PPL that was rallied up a little bit. But this is the same thing, you know, because I was looking at an A and a B and a C here, but it's probably not that. We'll probably have to do the same thing again as well. So we'll look at this as wave 1, 2 here, and 3, 4, 5, and we'll just put that as minor. And then this next move down here, that's going to be also a little wave 1 and 2 in here. Now that looks like it's already got 5 waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is its ABC pattern here. So that means that we could probably, or you could probably, if you wanted to, you could short it under that that level there. Because this will be wave 1 and 2 in here, and 3, 4, 5 down here for this one. So that will be, yeah, we can go there. So that's kind of lining it up with the same count for the S&P and all the rest of it. So obviously I know that we're in Australia and it's different, but you know, that's the thing there. And when we look at the big lithium stocks, okay, that's good. That's come down further here now. I can still see it's got further to go, and it's going to try to retest this number here. What about the other one? I don't think it's taken out that low there yet. Okay, finally taken out that low. So that will find a bit of support on 65. So we're still going to come down much further with all of this as well. And so that leaves... and this is Pilbara here. So with Pilbara here, we know that this is an A and a B and a C. It looks like it was going to be third wave material, but just not going to happen. So we know that this is going to come down here somewhere, you know. It may come down a lot further, actually, because it looks like, because sometimes a B wave is normally complicated. A wave 2 is really quite sharp, you know. So we could be looking at something a little bit nastier in here with this. We'll better take a look at this in the bigger picture. So as a 1 and 2 here for this, you know, because it's not wave 2's a sharp and swift and pull back deeply, and this is this behavior here for this, you know. So this would make all of this just wave 1 down here as well, by the way, if that was going to be the case. So there is a bigger bearish pattern here that, you know, we need to point out. It does look like 1, 2, 3 here. I wouldn't worry too much about that spike, and I'd consider all of that wave 4. And then we look for wave 1 here. Now wave 1, you know, because normally we'll come down to the old lows over here. You're going to get the bounce at that point, you know. So it will be something like that. Come down to here and then back here and then down at that point. Okay, so I'll just leave that at that. Line tan will be much the same as well. This here will be some corrective pattern here. This is still needs, I reckon this still needs to come down here further for that. It's not giving me a nice impulse. I mean, I can get an impulse wave out of that, but even as a wave 2, this is a lot of time in here, more than this time. So yeah, bearish. I mean, we can look to be bullish. If you think we're bullish, we can go bullish along the top here. But as far as we've got so far, this is an A and a B and a C because we're in bearish markets at the moment. Unless things change, if that top gets taken out, well then that will change the scene. But at that point, we're not going anywhere. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.